All right, fifth graders. Well, once again, we're combining lessons here. And as last one combined 9.2 and 9.3, this one's going to combine lesson 9.4 and 9.5. So we have multiply, write your answer in simplest form. And so both of these lessons focus on multiplying fractions by fractions. So you really don't even have to think about the first step. Make everything a fraction. Okay? So we have 3 over 7 times 4 over 5. Everything's already a fraction. So we can go straight to thinking about cross-checking. Now I'm thinking, okay, what besides 1 can go into both 3 and 5? Well, nothing besides 1 can go into both 3 and 5. Well, what besides 1 can go into both 4 and 7? Well, nothing besides 1 can go into both 4 and 7. So there's no cross-checking that can take place here. 3 times 4 is 12. 7 times 5 is 35. And I'm thinking, well, 12 over 35, nothing besides 1 can go into both 12 and 35. So 12 over 35 is my final answer. Thinking about 5 sevenths times 9 tenths. Well, when I think about cross-checking a 5 and a 10, I'm thinking, well, they're both divisible by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. I cannot cross-check a 7 and a 9 because nothing besides 1 can go into both 7 and 9. So I'm going to go straight to my multiplying. 1 times 9 is 9. 7 times 2 is 14. And nothing besides 1 can go into both 9 and 14. So that's in simplest form. All right, well, let's look at 3/8 times 10 over 9. Sometimes you're going to get an improper fraction, which means that there's a chance that you could get a mixed number. It just kind of depends. It doesn't guarantee you're going to get a mixed number, but it means there's a possibility that you could. It just depends on what the numbers are. Well, here's an example with 8 and 10. They're both divisible by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And here, I don't know that if on any of our videos we've had an example yet where you can cross-check both ways. But yes, sometimes you can cross-check both ways. And with a 9 and a 3, they're both divisible by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And so I do 1 times 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 4 times 3 is 12. I get 5 over 12. Nothing besides 1 can go into both 5 and 12. So 5/12 is my final answer in simplest form. 21 over 100 times 2 over 5. Well, nothing besides 1 can go into both 5 and 21. So nothing can happen there. 2 times 100, well, 2 and 100, they're both even. So it would have to be 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Well, 10 divided by 2 I know is 5. Add the 0, I get 50. So 100 divided by 2 is 50. 21 times 1 is 21. 50 times 5, well, 5 times 5 is 25. Add the 0, I get 250. Nothing besides 1 can go into both 21 and 250. And when you have some of these bigger numbers, it's going to be something obvious, like they're both even numbers, or they're both divisible by 5, or they're both divisible by 10 because both numbers end in a 0. It's going to be something like that if those bigger numbers can be simplified. But there's no number besides 1 that can go into both 21 and 250. All right, so let's go to evaluate. 4 times 2/3 times 1 over 6. Well, remember the order of operations. I always do what's in parentheses first. So I'm going to do 2/3 times 1 over 6. So if I'm going to come down here, I'm just going to rewrite 2/3 times 1 over 6. Well, I can cross-check a 2 and a 6 by dividing by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I can't cross-check a 1 and a 3. Nothing besides 1 can go into both 1 and 3. 1 divided by 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 3 is 9. But I still got to remember now to go multiply that by the 4. So my 4 is going to become 4 over 1 times 1 over 9. Okay, well, 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 9 is 9. I end up with 4 over 9. There's nothing besides 1 that can go into both 4 and 9 evenly. So that's in simplest form. 3/4 minus 5/12. Well, I have to do that first. So I'm going to set this up. This is a subtraction problem. 3/4 minus 5/12. So I got to think about common denominator. Well, with 4 and 12, I'm thinking that 12 is going to be the common denominator, because remember, I work with the bigger number. 12 times 1 is 12, and 4 will work with 12. So my 5/12 is going to stay a 5/12. My 3/4 is going to become something over 12. 4 times 3 is 12, so 3 times 3 is 9. I do 9/12 minus 4/12. 9/12 minus 5/12, I believe, is going to be 4/12. And I'm thinking about my times tables and my 4 times tables, and I think 4 and 12 are both divisible by 4. So if I'm going to simplify this, 4 divided by 4 is going to be 1. 12 divided by 4 is going to become 3. I get 1 over 3. And so now I have to go back and multiply that by 7 over 9. So I'm going to come over here. 7 over 9 times 1 over 3. Well, I can't cross-check a 1 and a 9. Nothing can go into both of them except 1. I can't cross-check a 3 and a 7. Nothing can go into both of them except 1. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply. 7 times 1 is 7. 9 times 3 is 27. And I'm thinking about 7 over 27, and I'm thinking that that is in simplest form, because nothing can go into both 7 and 27 except 1. All right, moving right along. Let's come up here. 2/5 plus 2/5 times 3/7. Well, I can pretty much handle this mental math. 2/5 plus 2/5 is going to be 4/5, because 2 plus 2 is 4. The common denominator, 5, stays the same. So 2/5 plus 2/5 is 4/5. When I go and multiply that by 3 over 7, I can't cross-check a 4 and a 7. Nothing can go into both of them except 1. I can't cross-check a 3 and a 5. Nothing can go into both 3 and 5 except 1. So I just go straight to multiplication. 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 7, I believe, is 35. No number besides 1 can go into both 12 and 35. So I get 12 over 35, and that is in simplest form. That's my final answer. All right, well, 5/9 plus 1/3 is what's in parentheses. Then we're multiplying that by 9 over 10 for our last one. So I'm going to come over here. 5 over 9 plus 1 over 3. All right, well, I'm thinking 9 times 1 is 9. And 3 will work with 9. So I'm thinking that my 5 over 9 is going to stay a 5 over 9. My 1 over 3 is going to become something over 9. Well, 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 over 9 plus 3 over 9, I believe, is 8 over 9. But then I've got to take that and multiply it by 9 over 10. So I'm going to have 8 over 9 times 9 over 10. Well, I can cross-check a 9 and a 9. Whenever both numbers are the same, I can just cancel them out and make them both 1. 8 and 10 are both even numbers, and I think the biggest number that can go into both of them is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So I got 4 times 1 now. If I go ahead and multiply, is 4. 1 times 5, which is 5. And I'm just double checking simplest form, and I'm pretty sure that the only number that can go into both 4 and 5 is 1. And that's going to be that in simplest form. All right, we'll talk to you later, 5th grade. Bye.